Excellent. Hello, everybody. I hope everybody had some time on the holiday to stare at a wall or their toes or whatever, just to get some veg time. We all need a little veg time in these crazy times. Um, and Jessica distributed the agenda, but we have an item that we wanted to add, and I'm not, do you want to add it now? Do we want to approve this and then talk? I mean, how should we work it, Jessica?
Yeah, we'll just add one item of staff update under the
Okay.
first discussion item, so it
Okay.
will be a minor amendment.
Um, does someone would like to approve the agenda?
So
Call to
moved.
approve it. So moved. Somebody second?
Seconded.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. So the next thing is I'm gonna hand the microphone over to Jessica.
Sure. Well, we had just wanted to
Okay.
mention we had the
Okay.
approval of the minutes on the
Okay.
agenda, but I noticed that there was one small error on this, and that is Evan is not listed under the in attendance, although he's
Okay.
referenced in the minutes.
Okay.
So I can make that correction if you'd like, or and bring them back, or if you want to approve them with that correction, whatever you
Yes.
prefer.
We
Yes.
approve it with that correction. Do we want to vote to approve it with that correction? Somebody wanna,
So moved.
okay. Somebody
Seconded.
second. Excellent. Those, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So carried. Okay, thank you,
Perfect.
Jessica.
Done with that piece.
Yep.
All right, I'll stop sharing real quick. So we did have, I have two updates or minor things to report on. One of them is quite unfortunate. We learned last night, very late, that our town attorney passed away unexpectedly this past weekend. And so, that I just wanted to make this body aware because that will impact the review of our election manual. Um,
Boy.
so I worked with Fred for 20 years, so it was
Yeah.
crazy to imagine this. But yeah, so that is the one update I wanted to provide. We have an attorney that's been helping us over for a variety of legal matters, and she's a town attorney for, I believe it's a town of Laytonsville in Montgomery County. So she's very familiar, and we'll be able to talk with her about the election manual. It just may take a little bit of
Great.
time to bring her up to speed, but I just wanted to let you all know that because that is
Thank you.
important.
Boy.
The other item I wanted to share is that, so we're in the Maryland General Assembly session right now, and the town receives fiscal note requests for any legislation that potentially could impact municipalities. One came across my desk earlier this week, which was related to municipal elections, and it
Okay.
has to do with data collection and reporting to the State Board of Elections. So it just simply means that that legislation has been introduced, but it always makes me wonder if there's legislation introduced, there may be a reason or a problem that they're trying to solve. If you recall, it may have been last year, we had to report our election results within a certain period of time to the State Board of Elections, which was new for us, new for the entire, all municipalities. And so we always report them to Prince George's County, and now we have to report them directly to the state. And that's the same dynamic in this legislation with the election dates. So we would have to report our election, whether it's regular or special, the date of the election. And then the only other piece I noticed was that we are now required to have that information on our website, which we've always done. So that's not
Yeah.
anything new. But just wanted to share that as we get municipal election related legislation, I'll try to share it with the group so you have a chance to take a look at it.
And
But
that's the point. That's the point of the bill is report to the state.
yeah.
Okay.
So
All right.
I never really had that any interactions with the State Board of Elections because everything for us comes
Yeah.
to the county.
For the
So I
county. Yeah.
just I think that's interesting. I'm not sure
Yeah.
why, but
Interesting. Yeah.
it's fine. We
Okay.
applied last year and we'll comply next year too.
Okay.
So
All right.
if the law changes.
It's not like we don't have the information they're requesting and we're not
Yeah.
already doing the stuff that they're requesting.
Right.
You just have to
Yeah.
tell
Right.
them that we're doing it and send
Right.
them
Um,
the
So
information.
we can report there's an insignificant cost associated with that
Yeah, yes.
for
Exactly.
anybody who's interested.
Yes, and I guess that's the other thing, Kate, when you mentioned that, made me think, this is also budget season for fiscal year 2027. I did put in a budget request that's slightly more than last year. I think we did 30,000 in 2025. We came in around less than 20 maybe. And
Yeah.
I requested 40. So we'll see,
Okay.
just in case we need to do more mailings or voter outreach, just trying to,
Right.
even though we've spent some money
Right.
last year in preparation for 2027. I still think that's reasonable. If the board disagrees, let me know. And we'll work on a different number.
No, postage has gone up a lot, so that's probably affecting us too. Yeah.
Yeah, and we actually, this is silly, but we're getting a new copy machine, our new copier.
Oh,
You know,
boy.
color copies are
Nice.
expensive, and so
Yeah.
Yep.
we'll need to just make sure we account for those things.
Right.
I think it's good to ask for more and then we can always, it's easier. It's much harder to ask for more money. It's much easier to spend less than you have asked for.
I agree. We've come in under budget almost every single time, so we're very responsible and frugal when it comes to our municipal elections, knowing it's a lot of money for a relatively small turnout, but
Sure.
we will continue, I believe, using some sort of a vendor. That's been a really positive thing. Even if we go with a different, technology, we can do that. And at some point, we'll have to explore more mail-in election type stuff. So
Yeah.
that way we incrementally increase the budget and it's not like all at one time.
Right.
Yep.
So
Okay.
that was all I had for updates from the staff side.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And Jessica, you'll let us know when and how our expected timeline is shifted and if we need to do anything different, right, with the manuals and stuff. All right.
Yes, I will. And I have included, and I mentioned this to Sarah earlier today, in the town manager's report to the mayor and council, I've included that the board has been working on this draft election manual, and it'll be coming to them in the coming months. So just, so they know it's coming and they know that's what you've been working on. And so I think they have an idea of what's coming. I just don't know how long it'll take to do the legal review before we get it to the council.
Right.
Figure it out.
Okay. I think that brings us to our discussion items. We have reviewing the manual by section but I didn't know, Evan, were you able to find some time to kind of look at it from a new person's perspective to see if anything just kind of jumped out at you as
Which manual was it? I did find time over my many weeks of sickness, 4 weeks,
Oh,
Oh,
if I
dear.
remember
Yes.
correctly, because I was also sick the week before school went out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, which one was it again?
It was the manual, the kind of instructions on how to do the elections and who's going to be where and what you need to do and that. What's
Which
on the
one?
screen now?
there it is.
Yep.
Hold. TRP. It's the draft manual?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just needed the
Yep. To find it
PDF.
in your language.
And I remember you said it was towards the end, so
Yep.
that's what I
Yep.
reviewed.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I
The-
didn't really find anything that was too confusing.
Okay.
Really
Good.
felt it. I understood most of it. Some of the details are a little fuzzy because I did read it last year. Uh,
Yep.
but I could always just come back to it, see if
Okay.
something pops out.
Okay.
Okay.
We were excited to have somebody who hasn't done the process 8 times to read it because if you've done it 8 times, you forget to put stuff in there, you just assume. So
Yeah.
that's good.
It's
Okay.
feigning ignorance, kind of.
Yeah, well, it's there was an assignment a teacher gave me in high school
Oh,
class about making an omelet, and you had to do instructions, and then she made everybody do it in class, and you had to follow your instructions. And most people forgot to break open the egg. So they would say their instructions were put the egg in the pan. So they take the whole and they start to break it. And she's like, you didn't write to break the egg. And so these are things that you just don't even think about that you're doing. And we just want to make sure there's nothing like that in here because we don't want to cry over broken eggs, I guess. Okay. Back to the agenda, Jessica. Sorry for that side.
Okay.
Okay.
I completely forgot whatever it was that I promised to do.
That's okay.
I'm not gonna lie.
I don't really remember what we had for the review of elections manual by section. I don't remember specifically. I kind of felt like we kind of went through it in general.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
Heather had
we
done
did-
some reading before, and I think her corrections made it into that
Yep.
November version.
Yep.
Um,
and
which I
think,
don't have in front of me.
yeah. I think,
And
We send it to the other election judges
Yeah.
as requested, and we
Yep.
didn't get any feedback at all. So
yeah,
just, I remember Kate sent a little like personal note after I
Yep.
sent it
Yeah.
out, just requesting it, and
Yeah.
we didn't get any feedback. Although
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
thinking that this is right after the holidays, maybe we should
Right.
just like
Yeah.
Resend it.
reacquaint ourselves with it and maybe resend that email to see if anybody
Right.
has any feedback.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll do that. Okay. Review. What is today? Today is 21st. Okay. I will send a note by the 28th, and I will ask for replies by when? Our next meeting is in
The
February 18th.
yeah. So just
So how about if I ask by February 11th?
as long as you have time to integrate whatever they say.
I'll make it work.
Okay. You're such a trooper. Okay. I think that we were all pretty comfortable with what was here, except for the things that we found. And we wanted Evan to take a look at it from just a use standpoint and get the other people to look at it, the other election judges to make sure that we hadn't forgotten anything.
Right.
One thing that Jessica had brought up with me is trying to create the manual to be as evergreen as possible. And with a whole bunch of things potentially changing, when the town code and the town charter are updated, then our manual is no longer valid. And if we may want to take a look at the manual and try to make it a little bit more evergreen, and so that instead of saying specific instructions, we say the section that talks about this, and maybe put a link to where it was now, but if it's a broader thing rather than a very specific this part of this code, because if that part of that code goes away, then the manual doesn't work anymore.
Sarah, can you give an example?
So
Right here was an
Okay.
example,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So,
Go ahead.
yeah. No, you have a very specific chapter and item letter here, like so 23-A through H. Maybe we just say Article 5 of the town charter and chapter 29 of the town code versus referencing the I
Okay.
doubt the charter section as in like the actual article number and the chapter number and the code is likely not going to change, but it is not uncommon to renumber things when a new piece of information is added or removed. So
Yeah.
maybe just a reference to Article 5 of the Charter, Chapter 29 of the Town Code, so more general.
Okay. So don't cite specific sections,
Paragraphs, yeah,
paragraphs.
subsections.
Okay.
Is there a way to like use language at the top of the manual that is more general? Where we talk about like some sort of kind of like blurb, maybe like under the table of contents that like everything in the manual is based on the town charter, something that like removes the naming of things.
Doesn't the first sentence say that though? Like, that's what the first sentence says, right? This manual is a guide to elections in keeping with authorities in Article 4 of the town's charter and Chapter 29 of the town code.
So then can we take out the references that are, do we need to have those references in there like that?
Yeah, I would like to argue for leaving something in so that when we need to revise it, we got a starting, we can go look it up, you know? So it's okay to take out 29(3) through H and just leave in section 29.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because that way, if B and C come out and everything gets relettered, then we at least have a way to find it.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think
tend to
29,
agree.
Yeah.
I think we need to like level it up so that it's the high level, but
Yeah.
the code and the charter are so long that we need somewhere to start.
Right.
If
Right.
we ever need to revise it. Yeah.
And there are only those two, it's Article 5 and Chapter 29. So if
Yeah.
those right now are the only two that reference the election operations, the elections. So
Right.
I think high level, we could have Article 5 and Chapter 29 without the other pieces.
Yeah.
Still know where to
Okay.
go.
Okay.
It was just a thought, so that we don't have to update
Yeah.
everything.
So then what I would do after that is, for example, in the Board of Elections thing, then I would just change that to as provided in section 502 of the charter. Or would I make it Article
Article 5
5?
of the town
Okay.
charter. Yep.
Okay. Okay.
It's like you have it here.
Yep.
Yep.
And then just without this piece.
Okay. Sure. Got it. I can do that.
And then I think
And-
the different appendix A and B certainly can be like specific, very specific to
Yeah.
the operations of the election in 2025. You can
Yeah.
update that as time goes on. I mean,
Right.
we're operating
Exactly.
on a 1990 something manual now, so I mean,
Right. Yeah.
we'll be moving leaps and
Right.
bounds.
Well, the idea of those two appendixes, and the reason that that stuff isn't incorporated, is because you can swap out an entire appendix.
Yep.
After the next election, you can, when you fix up whatever happens in 27, then it'll be ready for 29.
Back to what Jahira said, it may be useful if we say at the very beginning that it's only Article 5 and only section 29 of the charter, or the code. Do we need to actually repeat those throughout the whole thing, or just say provided in the charter, blah 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 blah, provided in the code, blah 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 blah? If we're saying at the very beginning, it's only going to be these two parts of the two documents.
As a frequent reader,
Yeah.
it would be useful to me to
Mhm.
remind myself, if I'm
Okay.
on page 7, that it's Article 5.
That's fine.
Okay.
And I don't think it hurts anything, and it helps a little.
Okay. Okay. I think that covered the points. The next thing I think on the agenda was the other municipalities' materials. Is that right, Jessica?
Yeah, and I was something that I was working on.
Yep.
So, and I'll send a written report over of this of the comparison against the manual. So it was, I think there were four documents.
Mm-hmm.
It was University Park, I think Tacoma Park and College Park. But one of them, for one jurisdiction, it was two documents.
Mhm.
So it was 3 towns, 4 documents. And like generally our manual is good. The parts that I want to just like call out that, and so it's like a combination of things that were missing versus things that were, like could be further developed in our manual. So, there was, College Park had some information that was related to, I'm sorry, I'm simultaneously cooking dinner per usual. College Park had something related to detailed judge specific procedures. So kind of like based on the different type of judge you were, there was a fair amount of detail related to kind of what that judge did. And then there was some parts of our manual that were more robust around security rules, chain of custody, and called both in the College Park and Tacoma Park manuals. The accessibility language, like how we're talking about accessibility is pretty light in our manual, and it's a bit more developed in other manuals. So rules related to electioneering, exit polling, calendars, watchers. This actually was a missing component. So it says missing. I have missing detailed policies on election, like detailed policies on kind of like how we respond to that. And like I know we have rules around that. I think it just probably needs a bit more just to be built out a bit more. Some language around kind of the different types of machines that we use and the instructions. I wonder if, because the machines that we use are not operated by us, correct?
Right.
Correct.
So there may just need to be some language that like this is held by a vendor that we partner with versus like instructions on like how to use the accounting machine. So there may need to be some language about that.
Yep.
There's a comment. One thing was missing is Tacoma Park had a very detailed mail-in ballot process that we don't have. And then we apparently don't reference early voting in our manual.
Because it was brand new.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll send over. I'm
Great.
I'm working on
That's-
editing the document right now, so I'll send it over.
Excellent. That's very, very
That's
useful. Thank
terrific.
you, Kira. That's
Thanks,
wonderful.
Jahara. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Review.
Fabulous.
I'm interested to learn more about how to add language appropriate to talk about accessibility. That's interesting to me.
I think we can use comparisons from the other communities.
Mhm.
I think, I wonder, like, when I think about accessibility, does it make sense to be more specific or more general when we think about it? Maybe the language that we have is like broad enough that we are trying to encompass as many people who have
Yeah.
a different way of engaging that we possibly can. But in that, does it also mean that like we're not prepared with
Yeah.
the like breadth and depth of ways people need like accommodation? So I don't know. I could go either way on this, but I
Yeah.
think the point Sarah is valid.
Yep.
That's
I
a good
think
point.
when we come up with an idea, I'm very happy. I work with a woman who all she does is accessibility law and appropriate accommodations kind of stuff. And so I certainly could ask her to take a look at it and make sure that she would be able to read it from many different reasons for accessibility. And so that it wouldn't just be one kind of accessibility. So that we can always ask her to take a look at it.
The other thing with the mail-in voting part, Jahara, Tacoma Park is they're a very good example. They have a really, really strong process for that. We just don't have authority for that quite yet. So we might want to just hold that piece of it and like keep it as part of our records. And then
Yeah.
when we tackle that with the council,
Right.
we can just plug that
Yeah.
into the election manual. But College Park and Tacoma Park have been like on the and Hyattsville too. They're
Hyattsville has,
really
yeah.
good examples of the mail-in voting, and they've
Yeah.
done really well. So
Yeah.
those are good places to get that information from for sure. I'm not surprised Tacoma Park has a lot of details, but I was
Yeah.
thinking, don't you think there's a lot of details when you encounter an issue, right? Like then you like write that in every single step. So
Yeah.
Right.
so we'll take a look. I'm anxious to see your list, Jahara. Thank you for putting that together. That's awesome.
Okay. I've been thinking in general, this isn't on the agenda, but this isn't on my brain. And as the one of the founding people on the Board of Elections, as we initially our purview has been to do what we're doing right now, expand the calendar, make sure the processes and the laws and our direction are appropriate, adequate, reflect best practices for our town. Um, as we move forward, as this stuff is getting taken care of, I wanted to have people start to think about what becomes our next priority. What kind of roles and responsibilities does it make sense to just have this committee be kind of everybody does everything, or does it make sense to have somebody who is really interested in doing community outreach, focus on that and be the point person on that, and somebody else who's really interested in collaborating with other communities in the area and making sure that we're all doing best practices to focus on that. I have no idea. I'm just kind of spitballing right now, but to think about it, and so that we have that yeah, basically I look at the other the green team in town is just crazily organized. It's like you're in charge of cardboard and you're in charge of Christmas trees and whatever, but it might give us all a little bit more sense of ownership and direction if we kind of start to carve up what we want to do. I just want guys to think about it, that's all.
That's a good idea.
So
That's a very good idea.
yeah. I know what I'm good at, which is identifying problems and raising a ruckus. I'm not very good at community outreach. So part of it is I know that that's not something that I'm going to be, I don't have a large list of people that I can go, hey, all the people that I know in town, you need to get involved or do this. I don't have that. So we need somebody else to kind of fill in that gap that I'm not going to be able to do. So, okay. I think we've gotten to the end of the agenda. We need to think about, we don't really have a list of to-do list at this point. Do we just get the next 4 weeks off, Jessica, until
I have
you have to-do list and Jahir
have a
has
list.
to-do list.
And when Jahara writes, I'm going to incorporate, I'll
Yep.
see as much of that I can incorporate into the
Yep.
next draft.
And but I'm not sure there's anything else unless people want to think about what we need to start focusing on, or if we need to focus on after all of these. We've got this excellent manual and all of the timeline and stuff.
Right.
What are our priorities?
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything else. Jessica, I've had a very long day, so Jessica has to be my second brain.
No, I think we're moving right along. Jahara's going to send the report or the information she's pulled together, so that'll give us
Yep.
all something to take a look at.
Yep.
Kate's going to send the email back out to the board, the other election judges to just
Yep.
see if they had anything else. And then we can do some final proofing
Yep.
once we get past whatever, once we get to like a document we're happy with. And then I'm happy to do like a lot of proofreading too, and in between now and then. So just once we get the text, the content
Yeah.
together, we can go from there.
Yeah,
and
I can do a ton of proofing too. as
Oh,
well.
I
great.
bet you can. I know you can. Very
wonderful.
good.
um,
Very good.
one other thing I realized that was my purview in the past was interfacing with the mayor and town council, and that was easier when it was for me when it was Alan because he lived 3 doors down from my house, right? But I realized I need to pick up on that, so I'm planning on reaching out to our IFIAC and asking to have some coffee and talking to him about what he's thinking and what the town council's thinking, and so that. And tell him what we're thinking, and so that we all have no surprises. We all have enough surprises.
I mean, I walk past his or run past his house every day. So
Yes. Okay.
like he's my neighbor.
Yes. Okay. I think at that point, so we talked about timeline of next steps. That's basically reviewing materials, paying attention to your email. If stuff comes up or you guys think about things, we're always
Yeah.
available. And I'm not feeling bad about not having a long to-do list myself, so and Terry, I might reach out to you as a person who is near the mayor's after I have a chat with him, because I want to and then maybe you can, depending on how things go, you can be the more point person, because you're literally, it's so much easier when you see somebody out walking.
Yeah. And he and I like served together on our HOA board for a while, so we've got a good like
Boy.
working and also just personal
Yes.
relationship.
Excellent.
Well, he's pretty approachable. And
Yes.
so are
Oh,
you.
yeah,
So
I'm
that's
not-
good.
I'm not
Yeah.
concerned about it. I just want, because I have an idea of why, Kate and I were part of we were part of the reason that this board exists, and that we kept going, there should be some more structure here. And we badgered Jessica into badgering the town, and here we are. And I just wanted to kind of do a little bit of a handing of the baton kind of stuff. Okay.
Good.
Cool beans. I think I can let Chihira finish her dinner, and I think if my nose is correct, mine is almost done being cooked by my
Nice.
kids. So
Very good. All
Yes.
right, y'all.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Take care.
In
Thanks.
February.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.